it. It is easily, one of our show programs that we operate in this state. Louisiana feels we lead the Gulf, the nation, maybe even the world in our Rigs to Reef program. We're very proud of this program. We're very proud of all the cooperators we have in this program as well. So just a few of my opening remarks. We'll go ahead and get right down to the show. So I believe next is Fred Palmer with Shell.
On behalf of Shell, thank you for being here, and again, welcome. I just want to very quickly touch on a number of Shell people who are here today. Richard Newsom is our Vice President of Projects and Operational Support. Been with Shell for a while, but fairly new to Louisiana, just having moved here and now working out of our New Orleans Deepwater office, so a new resident to Louisiana, and you'll be hearing from Richard here a little bit later. Dave Brubaker, Construction Projects Manager in New Orleans. So I had a big role in this project. Randall Abity, who you'll hear from and really will go through the guts of our presentation, heavily involved in this project, and he'll explain that in more detail in a few minutes. We have Phil Smith, who's our Regulatory Affairs Manager in New Orleans, and Ryan Reef, who's part of his staff that worked very closely with both the MMS and the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, and in fact, actually with Doug Peters, actually went offshore and actually viewed the lift and towing and reefing of the structure. Let's see, is Mario here? I guess Mario's not here. And so those are the Shell people, but also we have a couple of representatives from Versabar. And you'll see in this presentation that Versabar is a contractor, one of the contractors, but one of the key contractors that worked on this project. You'll see their equipment. It's big, massive steel, and you'll understand through the presentation why it takes something like this to do the work that's involved in a project like that. But Ian Todd and Dan Sweet are both here with Versabar, so thank you very much for being here. With that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Randall to go through the presentation. I think the main takeaway for me is, usually Shell is talking about new projects and things we're building in the Gulf of Mexico and other deep water parts of the world, and also what we do in onshore. Seldom do we talk about decommissioning or taking something apart. But this has been a great project. It's a win-win-win for a number of stakeholders, including the state, including us. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Randall. He's going to go through a presentation. We'll then watch some video that I think you'll find very interesting. And then we'll have plenty of time for Q&A, and then we'll culminate with a check presentation. And then there's lunch for those of you that can stand around for that. So with that, Randall.
Today we're going to go over the Eugene Island 331A decommissioning project. We'll talk about some of the technical challenges that Shell and its contractors face, how we overcame them, and at the end of the day, left something of everlasting benefit for the marine life in the Eugene Island area. Being that we're in Baton Rouge today, I want to also say that I'm a proud graduate of LSU, and that I have 2 kids there, so I'm a 2-time LSU dad right now. Hopefully not for long, though. If I can get them graduated very soon. So we're going to talk about Eugene Island 331A history, Hurricane Ike, what happened to the storm while Shell undertook this work, developing a path forward, removing the topsides, routing the pipelines, the jacket, towing, and reefing. That's what's the really fun part. And then, like Fred said, we'll show video and have questions. At Shell, everything we do is around goal zero. It's who we are, it's how we operate, it's how we plan all our jobs. And what that means is there's no harm to people. Nobody gets hurt ever, and no harm to the environment. So all the jobs and all the things that we did on this project, all the planning, all around goal zero. For Eugene Island 331A history, so it was installed in 1972. I was a freshman in high school. It's a fixed leg structure, 8 piles, 4 skirt piles, 242 feet of water. The deck weighed 2,000 tons. The jacket weighed 3,000 tons. 3,000 tons, what is that to you and I? That's more than 7 fully loaded max capacity 747-100 airplanes. All the wells were P&A'd in 2005. It was operated as a pipeline platform up until Hurricane Ike. And the major production from our auger to the tension leg platform went up and over this platform. Hurricane Ike last year came through. It was a big storm. And one of the big significant things about it was a massive sized storm. Our platform, located here, it's about 155 miles southwest of New Orleans. A lot of people think that that Ike did a lot of damage to platforms because of its massive size and the waves that it produced, just very, very large and big waves. So what happened? September 12th, it hit the platform. We estimated wind speeds 105 to 125 miles an hour, waves exceeding 55 feet. And we'll show some pictures of what that really means to the platform in a second. When we first landed on the platform to check it out, we didn't see any visible main structure damage. We did find a lot of equipment damage, grading and handrails. But one of the things we have to do after our storms is we have to do underwater inspections. So we got to go check and see what it looks like underwater, because that's where the main structure is supported. So we had our diving company go out there, and lo and behold, we found a lot of damage underwater. Braces broken, braces dented, braces buckled, legs broken. One of the good things is we didn't find any of our pipelines were damaged. So the top sides, this is our quarters building, damaged. This is the lower deck. You can see the gratings gone. These are tanks. The waves just throw them around. This is a picture of the platform. You can see here, this is the lower deck. These were two generator buildings. One was sitting here, one was sitting there. They got pushed over. The waves we estimated were somewhere around this high. So whenever you get that much force, it does a lot of damage to the platform. We could have fixed the top sides, but the structure below, which holds everything up, this is a diagram of the structure. We've got vertical legs, diagonals, horizontal members. 3 of these legs we found were completely broken. Those legs have piles driven all the way through them into the mud that support the platform. Some of the pictures for the top side, the jacket damage. This is one of those legs broken, diagonals completely broken, diagonals dented, cracked. We probably had about 30 or so members like this. So we look at this and we say, what do we do? So Shell, structural engineers determined it wasn't feasible to fix this platform because your main underwater structure supporting it is all torn up. So we had to remove the platform. We didn't want to have a risk of it collapsing in any future storms. In doing so, we had 11 pipelines that went up and over the platform. Those had to be rerouted or abandoned in place. So that was our initial assessment. We had to sit there and then develop a path forward. How are we going to tackle this project? One of the first things we did when we determined we had to take it out, we had to go notify the MMS and tell them about the damage. Throughout the project, we kept them informed, worked with them, got all our permits. We assessed the platform structural capacity to make sure that it was safe to work on it. We had to safe it out, meaning all that grading and handrails had to be restored so people can work on the platform safely. All the pipelines, de-inventory the hydrocarbons, take all the hydrocarbons off of the facilities, pig and flush the lines, prep all the equipment for removal, and we had to reroute our auger 20-inch pipeline. So our auger tension leg platform is one of our major platforms in the Gulf of Mexico. One of the first things we wanted to do was reroute that line around the platform.